You walk into the kitchen at the end of the evening and see the same small things waiting for you: 2 cups near the sink, tomorrow's bags still open, a stack of mail on the counter, and one bright light left on in a room no one is using. For many women over 40, this is the moment when rest should begin. Instead, the house seems to ask for one more decision. This evening, home reset for women over 40 is not a cleaning routine. It is a 5-minute way to soften the visual noise, prepare one small part of tomorrow, and create a clear place to stop. You are not trying to finish the house. You are helping the house ask less of you before bed. And in the final minute, you will do something that may feel uncomfortable. At first, you will choose one harmless thing and leave it unfinished on purpose. That last minute matters. A calmer evening does not come from proving that everything is done. It comes from deciding what is enough for today. This reset is for ordinary evenings. The evenings when your energy is low, your mind is still holding several loose ends, and starting another routine feels like one demand too many. You do not need a cleaning basket matching containers, special music, or a spotless kitchen waiting at the end. You need 5 minutes and 5 small decisions. Before you begin, choose the place where tomorrow usually starts. For many people, that is the kitchen. It may be the entryway, the dining table, the bathroom counter, or the corner where you leave your work bag and keys. Choose one area only. The goal is not to reset every room. The goal is to make tomorrow morning a little easier and to let tonight feel officially closed. Set a 5-minute timer if a timer helps you stop. If hearing a countdown makes you tense, move through the 5 steps without one. Give each step roughly a minute and refuse to turn it into a project. 1 minute for each decision. Then you are done. For the first minute, choose the one surface your eyes are likely to meet first tomorrow. Maybe it is the counter beside the coffee maker. Maybe it is the dining table where you drink your first cup of tea. Maybe it is the bathroom counter where you get ready. Or perhaps it is the small table near the front door where keys, receipts, and unopened envelopes tend to collect. Choose only one. The purpose is not to make the surface empty. It is to stop it from greeting you with several unfinished decisions before the day has properly begun. You see the envelope and remember the call you still need to make. You see the shopping bag and remember the return you have been postponing. You see a copper charger and yesterday's list, and your mind begins sorting the morning before your feet have fully reached the room. None of those things may be urgent. Still, they can make the first few minutes of the day feel busier than they need to be. So for 60 seconds, remove only what clearly does not belong on that surface. Put the cup by the sink. Place the mail into one neat pile. Return the scissors to the drawer. Throw away the empty wrapper. Move the shopping bag beside the door so it is ready to leave with you. Do not reorganize the drawer after you open it. Do not wipe every cabinet because you noticed one mark. Do not walk through the entire house, returning every object to its perfect home. Stay with the single surface you chose. When you find something that needs a bigger decision, do not solve it tonight. Place it in one temporary decision spot. That might be a tray, a shallow basket, or one clearly defined end of the counter. This is not about hiding the object. It is about containing the decision so it does not take over the room. When the minute ends, pause. Look at the surface. It may still hold the coffee maker, a fruit bowl, or one item you have chosen to deal with tomorrow. That is fine. It does not need to look styled. It only needs to feel less demanding than it did 1 minute ago. That is enough. Minute 2 is for tomorrow's first items. Not everything you might need during the entire day. Only the first few things you are most likely to reach for. Think about the first 10 minutes of your morning. Do you make coffee or tea? Take medication. Pack a lunch. Leave early for work. Walk the dog. Sit with a notebook before the house becomes busy. Choose the items that support that first part of the morning and place them together. You might put your mug beside the kettle. You might place your keys, glasses, and work pass in one bowl near the door. You might put the lunch container on the front shelf of the refrigerator. You might place your walking shoes beside the chair where you sit to put them on. The point is not to build an elaborate morning station. It is simply to remove 1 or 2 unnecessary searches. Many rushed mornings begin with small questions. Where are my keys? Which bag did I use yesterday? Did I leave my glasses upstairs? Where is the form I need to bring? Each question is minor. Several of them together can make the morning feel scattered before anything important has happened. Minute 2 gives those first items one temporary home. Keep the arrangement simple enough that you can repeat it without planning. If setting out 5 things feels like another job, set out 1. If tomorrow is unusual, choose the item you are most likely to forget. If other people regularly move things, choose a spot that is visible, but not in the way. And be sensible with anything related to health or safety. Follow the storage directions for medication, and keep medicines where children cannot see or reach them. You are not building a perfect system tonight. You are giving tomorrow a softer starting point. When the minute ends, leave the rest of tomorrow alone. You do not need to plan every meal. You do not need to answer every message. You do not need to study the whole calendar or mentally rehearse the day. The first items are ready. That is enough. Minute 3 is where you remove one visual irritation. 1. Not the whole room. A visual irritation is the object your eyes keep finding, followed by the same small thought, I still need to deal with that. It might be a cardboard box that has been beside the door for 4 days. It might be a shopping bag hanging from a chair. It might be a stack of clean laundry slowly spreading across the sofa. It might be an empty package, a cluster of charging cords, or the chair holding clothes that are not quite clean and not quite ready for the laundry. Choose the one thing that keeps pulling your attention back. Then reduce it in the smallest useful way. Break down the box and place it near the recycling. Fold the shopping bag and put it with the others. Move the clean laundry into one basket instead of leaving it in several piles. Gather the charging cords into one container. Place the in-between clothes on one hook or in one designated spot for tomorrow. You are not completing an organizing project. You are quieting one repeated reminder. This step is useful on the nights when the house is not truly messy, but it still feels visually unsettled. The problem may not be the amount of stuff. It may be one unresolved object that catches your eye every time you cross the room. Not now. Later. I must remember that. Why is that still there? You only need to notice that it is bothering you and decide whether 60 seconds can make it less visible, more contained, or resolved. Choose something small. Do not start sorting a closet. Do not open a box of photographs. Do not begin reading the entire pile of mail. Do not empty a drawer onto the floor. Those choices create more decisions, which is the opposite of what this reset is meant to do. Your goal is to make one part of the room quieter. When the minute ends, notice the specific difference. Perhaps the chair is usable again. Perhaps the doorway feels less crowded. Perhaps the bright package that kept pulling your eye is no longer on the counter. The change may be small, but it is complete enough. You noticed one thing that was repeatedly asking for attention, and you reduced the demand. Now move on. Minute 4 is the stopping cue. This is the step that keeps a 5-minute reset from becoming another 20 minutes of housework. You put away one cup and notice the sink. You clear the counter and see the stovetop. You take the box toward the recycling and remember the bin needs a new liner. Soon you are cleaning the kitchen at the exact time you meant to sit down. The house will nearly always offer another task. A stopping cue gives you a visible action that means I am finished for tonight. Choose one cue and use the same one whenever possible. You might turn off the bright kitchen light and leave only a small lamp on. You might place the cleaning cloth over the edge of the sink to dry and then walk away. You might close the planner. You might start the dishwasher if it is ready and decide not to add anything else. You might place your phone face down on the charging table. You might make a cup of tea and carry it out of the kitchen. You might close one door. The cue should be simple, repeatable, and easy to recognize. It is not a reward you earn by finishing everything. It is a boundary between household time and personal time. When you perform the cue, do it slowly enough to notice it. Turn off the light once. Close the planner once. Put the cloth down once. Then do not restart the routine. The cue only becomes useful when you allow it to mean something. You may still notice unfinished tasks after the light is off. That does not mean the reset failed. It means the house is still a lived-in place and you are practicing a clearer ending. Perhaps you are used to stopping only when you are too tired to continue. Your body leaves the room, but your mind is still reviewing what remains. A stopping cue cannot erase every thought. It can, however, give you one ordinary action that marks the end of the household shift. The kitchen, the laundry, and tomorrow's responsibilities are still real. But tonight has a closing point. Keep the cue ordinary. You do not need a ritual that takes 15 minutes. You need one action that says enough for today. Minute 5 is the most important part of the reset. Leave one thing unfinished on purpose, not because you forgot, not because the timer defeated you, not because you ran out of energy halfway through. Choose one harmless, non-urgent task and make a clear decision to leave it for tomorrow. Maybe there are 2 cups beside the sink, one basket of laundry still needs folding, an envelope stays in the decision tray, or one pan is soaking. Look at the unfinished thing and name the decision. I am leaving this for tomorrow. For some women, that choice feels more uncomfortable than simply doing the task. You may think it will only take a minute, and perhaps it will. But that thought is how 5 minutes quietly becomes 15. There will always be one more thing that takes only a minute. One more surface, one more load, one more message, one more item to return to another room. Minute 5 is where you interrupt that pattern. Choose an unfinished task that will not create a safety problem, spoil food, block a doorway, or cause a genuine issue overnight. Do not leave active cooking unattended. Do not leave perishable food sitting out when it should be stored. Do not leave medication where a child or pet can reach it. This step is about harmless incompleteness, not carelessness. You are allowing the home to remain functional without demanding that it look finished. The counter can hold one item. The room can show signs of life. The house can remain slightly imperfect, and you can still stop. This may be the moment when you feel the strongest urge to fix the final thing before sitting down. Notice the urge without turning it into another job. You can say, I see it, I have made the decision, it can wait. Then follow your stopping cue. Leave the room, sit down, take your tea with you, let your shoulders lower. Allow the evening to continue without reopening the household shift. The 5-minute reset is complete. One surface is quieter. Tomorrow's first items are together. One visual irritation has been reduced. Your stopping cue has been set. And one harmless task has been left unfinished on purpose. The value of this reset is not the amount you completed. It is the number of small decisions you no longer need to carry through the rest of the evening. You are not trying to wake up to a perfect home. You are creating a morning with slightly less friction and an evening with a clearer boundary. Some nights you may complete all 5 minutes. Other nights you may clear one surface, put your keys in place and turn off the light. That still counts. A useful routine should support your energy, not test your discipline. It should be small enough for an ordinary Tuesday, small enough for a low-energy evening, small enough for the night when everyone has needed something and you have very little left. This is not a new standard you have to maintain. It is an option you can return to. As you repeat it, you may notice which minute helps most. Perhaps putting your keys in one place changes the whole beginning of your morning. Perhaps removing one bright package from the counter makes the kitchen feel calmer. Perhaps the strongest moment is simply turning off the light before every task is finished. Use what helps. Keep it gentle. Let 5 minutes remain 5 minutes. Tonight, the house may still contain dishes, laundry paperwork, and rooms that are not ready for a photograph. But it can still feel quieter, not because everything is done, because you chose what mattered, prepared one small beginning for tomorrow, and gave today a clear ending. In the comments, tell me which minute would help you most: clearing one surface, preparing tomorrow's first items, removing one visual irritation setting, a stopping cue, or leaving one thing unfinished on purpose. And for more calm home habits for women over 40, subscribe to Calm Her Daily. For now, turn off the light. Let the unfinished thing remain unfinished. The house can wait until morning.